Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here to Turf's Up Radio. You got Keeping Up with the Joneses here every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Turfette, what's going on?
Good morning, Mr. Jones.
How are you?
It's Monday morning.
Rock and roll, lock and load. Guys, let's get up. Let's get out there. This is the green industry. You've been up for hours. We're just going to motivate you through the morning here. Jennifer, tell them what we're going to talk about today on the show.
Well, I have a whole list of things we're going to talk about this morning.
Well, tell them, baby. Tell them.
Well, we're going to talk about the expo. We're going to talk about partnership with the Green and Growing. We're going to talk about Turf Talk Tuesdays that the Turf Teacher will have an update for, the replacement courses, our seminars that start back in December, and the topics of the day. The main three topics are going to be leadership, drones, plugging, and seeding. All
right. 3 topics that I think our listeners are going to be jumping up and down for. I can't help, but every time I see a drone fly by, I stop and look. Is that the kid in me or what?
Well, I think we're not used to seeing things in the air other than planes.
That's true. That's true. But how drones are going to affect the turfgrass industry in the near future. It's already being done at NC State, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Jennifer's going to bring an update on that. I'm going to talk about the plugging and seeding. Don't forget this coming Thursday, I'm going to be with Wayne Voles, the Prophet. We're going to be talking about pruning. I think that's at 7 o'clock. But that's going to be fun. That's going to be open to everyone. Yeah, Thursday, September 11th, 7 p.m. And we're going to be doing it. But guys, I'm gonna kick a song off right now. And sweetie, they haven't heard me say this in a long time. But you know what time it is. You know what we're getting ready to do. What we're getting ready to do, sweetie. Got a radio.
Cause I know right from wrong, and if you cross that line, boy, playing the best music.
Hands down and dirty. Turfs Up Radio.
Turfs Up Radio.
Turfs Up Radio.
Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up.
Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station.
Experience the best of Louisville fine dining at Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, where glitz, glamour, and world-class cuisine take center stage every night. From nationally acclaimed USDA prime steaks to an exquisite raw bar and award-winning wine list, Jeff Ruby's delivers an unforgettable culinary experience. The rich Art Deco ambiance, live entertainment, and impeccable service make every visit a special occasion. Jeff Ruby's Steakhouse, a must-eat while visiting Louisville for the Equip Expo 2025. Book your reservation today at jeffruby.com/Louisville.
Welcome back, Turfs Up Radio listeners, with a turf time of 8:06. Now, Turfette, you said we were going to be talking about what is coming up here for Turf Teahcer, Turfs Up Radio, the Turfette. What is going on in our world today?
Well, the biggest thing we've got coming up is 43 days.
43 days. So
what's in 43 days?
Is it your birthday? No, your birthday is less than 43 days away. Is it? I don't know. Could it maybe? I don't know. I'm hoping maybe Expo.
Yes, it's the equipment exposition.
Louisville, Kentucky, and as we just heard, Jeff Ruby's, the commercial there that we have for them, that I'm sure all the Turfs Up Radio gang will have at least one dinner reservation there. So I'm looking forward to that. And it's not too far from our Airbnb. So we'll be able to hop, skip, jump down there. Unless Wayne wants to pick us up in the Rolls Royce. Everybody calls his Ford Expedition the Rolls Royce. We got Darren Gruden texting us. Morning, yes, big stakes. That's right. What's up, G-Money? What else we got coming up, sweetie?
Well, at the Equipment Expo, I wanted to put a plug in real quick about the prayer breakfast.
That's true.
On Wednesday morning. The doors open at 6:30.
Yep. So we're going to have to be there at what time to get set up?
Probably more like
4.
5:30.
Last year we couldn't get in, but that was because it was at Expo. This is going to be at the hotel right across the street from Expo, so we should be able to get in there pretty early, get everything set up, tested, and hopefully got some other Turfs Up Radio personalities there to help us do that, because that's an undertaking, getting all the mics set up and getting connected and doing a test run, but I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. That's going to be fun. Breakfast was amazing last year.
It was.
And it's not a continental breakfast. It's not coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
It is genuine cooked eggs and sausage and bacon and hash browns. I mean, did they have pancakes or was it little waffles? I think they did. Yeah. So it's a full course breakfast. It's not. Yeah. It's not your traditional hotel continental breakfast. No, you're not picking up an apple and an orange and a little cup of cereal that you peel back. And this is probably a dumb question, but I wonder why they call it continental breakfast. I'm going to have to Google that. You're going to have to look that up, aren't you? It's worth a Google. But, guys, don't forget, yes, tomorrow, I know Turfette, she mentioned that Turf Talk Tuesdays are back. We are starting them up tomorrow night. I'm pretty sure tomorrow's topic is the history of pesticides, which I absolutely love talking about. And I'm double-checking that. Yes, sir. Pesticide history, chemistry, and formulations. And then next Tuesday, we'll start off with applying the correct amount of pesticide. And it made my heart melt when I submitted these courses for renewal again, and the Department of Agriculture replied back to my applying the correct amount of pesticide and said, this is a great presentation. So I really felt good about that. Sweetie, what does continental breakfast mean? Well, apparently it goes back to our British roots. All right. It's based on traditional breakfast held by continental Europe, mainly France. It was inherited from our British origins. And I mean, when you think about it, most Britons, most English people eat pastries.
Yeah. Yeah, they do like pastries.
So pastries is real big in Europe, especially in France and England. That's a huge thing. I mean, you can't go anywhere in France, any corner, and there not be a pastry, a bakery place. So that makes sense. So there you go. If anybody was wondering what continental breakfast, where that came from and why,
it was from Downton Abbey.
That's why we do it. So now I know the answer. And it's funny, anytime I'm in conversation with somebody and something comes up or a particular word or a cliche, I wonder where that comes from. Why do we say that? So I always go and
always
find.
Look it up.
I
That's
do
true.
every time. It's worth a Google.
That's right. Good morning, Corey. What's going on, my friend? Hope everything is well in Virginia this morning. So we got some listeners going on this morning. It's always good to hear from where you guys are at. And, guys, I do want to put this out there. If you want to call into the show, do that. We got my cell phone open, 336-414-9719. Again, 336-414-9719. If there's any prayer requests or anything like that you need for people, because we all need prayers. We all need that spiritual blessings in the morning because there's a lot riding on our shoulders. The small business owner, is America's backbone. We put people to work. We do. It is the small business owner. So, guys, Jennifer was just talking about that prayer breakfast. And we're looking at the website now, Trades for Christ. Ron Scheffler, he's on the leadership committee. We've had him on the show. We've got to get him back on the show again, sweetie. So don't let me forget that. We need to reach out to him. But tradesforchrist.com, tradesforchrist.com. The National Prayer Breakfast will be on Wednesday, October 22nd at 7 a.m. And like you said, what time? Doors open at 6:30. So, and who's going to be the guest speaker this year, sweetie?
Mike Singletary. It took me a second.
It took you a little bit.
It took me like a hot second. But yeah, Mike Singletary. NFL Hall of Famer and a Super Bowl champion. That's pretty cool. Last year we had Darryl Strawberry, which I remember Darryl Strawberry playing baseball. So that was a pretty cool moment for me, because I wasn't really a huge baseball fan, but I remembered Darryl Strawberry.
And it's funny, though, like you said, because everybody, I don't know, it's like everybody rooted for the Mets that year. I don't know. It was like maybe they were the underdogs, and it was just America's team that year. So when they beat the Red Sox.
Yeah. So. Well, it's cool, that Mike is from Chicago or played in Chicago. And I lived in Chicago for 3 years, so a little bit of a connection there, a similar, connection. So I'm excited about that. But no, the Trades for Christ is an amazing group of men that has put this together. And it's not just for the prayer breakfast, but they have other things in the works. But the prayer breakfast this is their 6th annual prayer breakfast, and
it's grown each year.
Ron said the first year they had it, they only like 50 people show up. This year, they're expecting at least 500 people that they had to move out of the expo. And I'm sure that raises the question, well, the expo has facilities. Why did you have to leave? Well, the room that we've always had speakers coming in right after us, and there was not going to be enough time to switch and move and clean
for that
up.
many people.
Yeah, so we had to take it off-site for as many people as we're having it for. So it's going to be at the hotel
right across the street. Yep. So looking forward to it. Guys, you can sign up for it right there at tradesforchrist.com. Get signed up. It's free. Come. Just have good fellowship with people that's in the industry and hear Mike Singletary's story. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, so. I'm excited about that. There is something about listening to someone who has set a goal, had a dream, and reached it and was successful with it. And it inspires us as leaders, and it inspires us as people who are trying to reach for our own goals and dreams. And so to sit and listen to somebody that's been there, that understands the path, that understands the sacrifices and the challenges that come with that journey, you hear that and it gives you the encouragement and inspiration you need to move forward. And we always, I've always heard, if you want to be a winner, you've got to surround yourself with winners. And that's how you start. You surround yourself with the right people. And once you get the right people in your circle and the people you surround yourself with, you're gonna be as successful as the people you hang out with.
You are. 100%.
The Bible says, whatsoever man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And we always talk about, our mindset, and we attract what we think.
Yes.
It's the law of attraction. And really what you do think and how you perceive life, that's what you attract around you. So if you are constantly a Debbie Downer and a negative Nancy and nothing ever goes right and woe is me and my business,
that's all your friends are going to be.
Yeah. I mean, if you're sitting around beating yourself down, you're going to surround yourself with people that's going to join in with you. You know what they say, misery likes company.
It does, don't it? Sure
either
does.
you want to be miserable or you want to be successful. You got to make a choice. And to me, I've chosen, and it's important to me to surround myself with the kind of people that I want to emulate and be like. And so Mike Singletary is going to be a great speaker to listen to. I'm really excited about that. Not only that, but the people that we're going to be around that morning. I'm even more particularly excited about that. So
100%.
TraceForChrist.com gives you all the information about the prayer breakfast. So guys, join us. Free breakfast. You get to meet Mike Singletary, listen to his story, and set the day off right. I mean, everything starts on Wednesday, so why not start it off right?
That's right. And so we'll be headed up probably, I don't know, I think we're going to head up Monday. I think we need to get up there. We don't need to be rushed like we were and just exhausted. So we're going to get up there, have a little play. We heard something in church yesterday. Maybe we can actually make a pit stop and actually see the Ark. That just depends on how far it is from Louisville, but actually drive up and see that, even if we spend the night in a different city, and then head into Louisville early Tuesday. So very, very much looking forward to that. What else is coming up, baby? I know everybody's getting excited because we're going to be at all these events. I know we're going to be at Green and Grow this coming January, and I am looking forward to that because that is my hometown conference, and I'm really looking forward to that because we're going to be there pretty much all 4 days, the 2 days of education, the 2 days of the trade show.
I went with you this past year, but we were only there on Friday, and we missed part of it because we were traveling.
Yeah.
But I had the flu.
You did,
didn't know I had the flu. I was like, man, I remember telling you that morning, I don't feel good. Something is not
Something's
right.
coming
I
up,
don't feel good. And then later that afternoon, after we got back, I crashed. And then by Sunday, I had a fever and ended up having the flu. And then like 3 or 4 days later, you tested positive for flu A. And so it ended up being quite the week after that. But this year I'm even more looking forward to it, simply because we're going to be a lot more involved at the Green and Growing show.
Yes.
We're not only there as Turf's Up Radio, but you are also going to be a speaker at the show this year.
Right.
I'm really excited to get to be front row and center of that.
Are you going to be back there with your green and yellow pom-poms going, Turf's up?
Yes, and I'll have my bright Turf Teacher shirt on. I'm excited about that. I really am.
That is true.
It's a huge thing for Turf's Up Radio right now because we're growing, guys. Turf's Up Radio has a position in this industry. We have the listenership. We've got the people there. We are building off of that even more this year. We're taking it and running with it. And so if you want to be a part of the growth here at Turf's Up Radio, stay involved. Come see us at the expo. We're going to be doing interviews. If you want a free advertisement for your business,
that's right.
Stop by the booth. I mean, you can't get anything better than free advertisement, right?
That's right.
So come see us at the booth at the Quip Expo and at Green and Growing Show here in Greensboro in January of 2026.
That's right.
Eric and I will be there. We're working on some of our other partners from Turfs Up Radio to be there as well. So there's going to be several of us at Expo and at the Green and Growing Show, and I'm excited about what's happening. You know, anytime where there's growth, there's excitement.
Yeah.
Anticipation of what's to come.
Yep.
And I love being around that. It's the way it is at church. Our church is growing. You know, we just cleared off the back lot, and they're redoing some of that, and there's plans to build a brand new auditorium because the auditorium we have now is not quite big enough. We're having to have 2 services because we don't have the space. So anytime there's excitement about the future, people want to be a part of it. It draws people in because people want to be excited too.
That's true. In Turfs Up Radio, we are growing. That's what we do. We help you grow your business. We help grow everything. So come and see us. Quip Expo 2025, Green and Growing 2026 in Greensboro, North Carolina. Guys, we're going to be right back. We're going to play one of my favorite songs talking about growing some grass. Point my Walker mowers to the west.
This is Corey Parrish from CP Lawn Care Services. You're listening to Turfs Up Radio.
Your industry, your station. Yay! Drive a seat.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Lawn and Landscape Pros, are you ready to run your business instead of it running you? Then it's time to join the Profit Circle. Led by Wayne the Profit Voles, this business coaching group helps you grow and profit by mastering the real stuff. Selling, marketing, advertising, cost calculation, bidding, contracts, customer and employee relationships, scaling your business, and more. If you're ready to become more profitable and more successful, joining is easy. Just head to profitsrs.com, that's profitsareus.com, and click the Join the Profit Circle button right on the homepage. Because remember, profit is not a dirty word.
Eric the Turf Teacher Jones. Oh, yeah! Teaching you life lessons, business strategies, and leadership.
Let's grow together. Turfs Up Radio. Your industry, your station.
All right, Tim McGraw, where the green grass grows. And that's right, guys. Plugging and seeding season is here. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment after the Turfette talks about leadership.
Six lanes, tail lights, red ants marching into the night. They disappear to the left and right again. Another supper from a sack, a 99-cent heart attack. I got a pounding head and an aching back, and the camel's buried in a big straw stack. I'm gonna live where the green grass grows, watch my corn pop up in rows. Every night be tucked in close to you. Raise our kids where the good Lord's blessed, point our rocking chairs towards the west, and plant our dreams where the peaceful river flows, where the green grass grows. Well, I'm from a map dot, a stop sign on a black top. I caught the first bus I could hop from there. But all of this glitter is getting dark. There's concrete growing in the city park. I don't know who my neighbors are, and there's bars on the corners and bars on my heart. But I'm gonna live where the green grass grows, watch my corn pop up in rows. Every night be tucked green grass grows. Watch my corn pop up in rows. Every night be tucked in close to you. Raise our kids where the good Lord's blessed. Point our rocking chairs towards the west. And plant our dreams where the peaceful river flows. Whoa, where the green grass grows.
Where the green grass grows. Guys, we'll be back just here in a sponsor's moment.
Hello, friends. Big Kenny of Big and Rich here. You're listening to Turf's Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Are you a military family with a spouse on deployment away from home? Project Evergreen supports military families with free lawn, landscape, and snow removal services. To give or get help through green care or snow care for troops, visit projectevergreen.org.
Hey everybody, Wayne Voles, the Prophet, your host of Profit Time here on Turf's Up Radio. If you listen to my show, you know I'm all about profit. As an industry, profit is something we fail to meet most of the time. If you're working hard but not seeing the results that you deserve, Profits Unlimited is here to help. We offer processes and systems designed specifically to make your company more successful, more profitable, and certainly more efficient. When you're ready to take your company to the next level, reach out to me at profitsareus.com. That's profitsareus.com. And don't forget to turn into Profit Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m.
Welcome back, Turf's Up Radio listeners. We have a Turf Time of 8:27, and Miss Turfette is going to talk a little bit about leadership. And I'm getting ready to tag her in a post. Oh, me. But I love it. Baby, I'm ready to hear what you have to say about leadership, because that is your forte, business and leadership.
Well, so I want to kind of prick your mind.
Mine?
Not just yours, but anybody that's listening. Prick your mind on what your idea of leadership is. What does leadership look like to you? And, you know, when you ask somebody that, you're going to get different types of perspectives of what leadership looks like. And a lot of the times, that leadership idea or that perspective, what you think leadership looks like, comes from an experience, good or bad.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. So the question is, what does leadership look like to you? And if that leadership looks like something from a bad experience, what are you going to do to set a different perspective about leadership in your life moving forward? Because a lot of people have different experiences when it comes to leadership. You know, I can sit here and think of many different experiences that I received in leadership. And I could tell you something. I've learned a lot from the best of the best in the industry. But I also learned a lot from the worst leaders.
It's kind of like a failure model. Like we talk about failure models and role models. Maybe somebody failed at leadership and you're like, I don't want to be that.
I had a boss one time, and, you know, I don't like talking negative about anybody. And
really?
I don't, because, you know, what goes around comes around, and I try to lead a positive path forward, but he was terrible. I mean, there's just no other word to put it. He was just a terrible leader. He did not have, he had emotional intelligence because he was an amazing salesperson, but it wasn't emotional intelligence on benefiting from how he could help the clients. He was looking at, how can I get money out of them? And a lot of salespeople, that's how they look at their job. This is all about money. I've got to have a paycheck. I have a quota. And that's all they care about. They take the emotions out of it. Okay. Even though they're working on emotions from the client, they take their personal emotions out of it. They don't look at it any differently, and it just becomes a sales tactic.
Wow.
And a lot of times you lose that emotional connection with your clients because of that. And I worked for this person, and I can tell you that I managed the pipeline. I managed the clients. He got the clients, brought them in, and then I managed them at that point. I cannot tell you how many of those clients would call me and say, we do not want to deal with him. We don't want to have to talk to him. We don't want to have to work with anything in regards to him. Can you handle everything for me? If you can save me that time and frustration, 100% I could. So I dealt with everybody in that pipeline and managed that entire pipeline and managed all the clients and everything that came with managing that clientele. And they loved me because I was empathetic, but I was also business. You know, there is a balance you have to strike in business about as a leader in running a business, because you got to keep it business, but also having influence in your business. John Maxwell, who is an amazing mastermind when it comes to leadership skills.
True, I agree.
And how to teach people how to be a leader, and how to emulate that as a leader. The biggest thing he talks about is leadership is influence. It's 100% influence. So when you think about your past experiences with leadership, the biggest percentage of your influence of that leadership came from a positive experience, which was influencing you, or negative experience that influenced you. It's 100% influence. That's all leadership is.
And I can see that across the board, no matter what industry or setting that you're in. And I think your leadership style is going to change based on where you're at and your progression in your career. Mm-hmm. So let's say the small business owner who has started, a landscaping company. He has 1 or 2 employees. His leadership style is going to be different than if he had 50 employees. Because if you've only got 1 or 2 employees, you're in the field with them working. And the good leadership, from my standpoint, if I had 2 employees working for me and I was with them every day, I would be in the hustle with them. I'm going to be out front saying, hey, come on, guys, let's get it. I'm influencing them to work. I'm motivating them to work. But if I had 50-plus employees and I'm in the back office, I'm going to have to develop my leadership style to filter down to my crew leaders so that they take charge that way. Leaders lead from the front. They don't push from the back.
No.
You got to be in the trenches with them. And that's some of the best leadership that I learned was in the military. And my leaders that were in the trenches with us, no matter their rank, no matter their specialty, they wanted to get in there with the troops. That's what I'm...
Well, and you're right. It's all about taking initiative. When my boys were little, and, I'm no expert, okay? I'm just sharing my experiences and what I did as a mom. When my boys were little, I had chore charts for them as toddlers because I wanted to teach them routine. I wanted to teach them how to work at home and how to do little things and earn. I found in order for my boys to do something, I had to initiate the desire for them to do it. There had to be some type of reward system. So we set up a chore list. Jared had his own, Jaden had his own, and they were little boys. And I did this all the way through elementary school with them. And they could see the fruit of their labor. I wanted them to see when you put this amount of time into this chore and you do it right, this is what the reward is going to be. And a lot of times that feeds people when they see the fruits of their labor. That being said, I know I'm talking with my hands. Y'all, he's over here making fun of me because when I get passionate, my hands start moving.
I thought you were always telling me to shut up because I get ready to say something and that hand goes right in my face.
My hands are in the air, y'all. They're in the air. I mean, it's what made me a great cheerleader when I was in high school because I got to use my hands. But I would set chores, and the biggest thing I remember writing on the board, on the chore chart list. I had a whiteboard and the chores on there. I had on the top of the board, take initiative. And I taught my boys that from an early age. If something's going to get done, take the initiative, even if it's not your job, because all the time my boys would point fingers at each other. Well, that's his job, or no, that's his job, but that's not my job. I would hear that all the time. And the biggest thing I try to teach my boys, taking initiative means you take the initiative even if it's not your job. If you see a need that needs to be met and you have the capabilities of doing it. Now, we can dig really deep into this, and I don't want to go too deep. I want to keep this, as simple as possible. But when I say take the initiative, okay, the rakes need to go on the trailer.
It's not my job.
Exactly. Just pick the rake up and go put it on the trailer and organize them. It takes you, all of 5 minutes to do it?
Yeah.
Check the oil levels in the truck. Make sure there's air in the tires. Check the batteries on your lawnmowers. Somebody's got to do it.
So take the initiative. Why not take the initiative?
Take the initiative. And a lot of times as a leader, as a business owner, when you're looking for the next leader of...
but what happens with that right there, the guys, and that's why, Caleb's coming in early now and getting all that stuff taken care of before the main guys get here. They go to the gas station, they stop, they have to fuel up. Caleb's the one filling up, checking the oils. He's the crew leader. The other guys are going in and getting their breakfast, going in and getting their drinks, going in and getting this stuff. They're not even helping them. So I made it like, nope, one person's going to go do that. They're going to come back, and then they're even cheaper for me to pay him that 1 extra hour a week, 5 hours a week, than it is for everybody to have to stop. So, but I get your point. I get your point. People need to see some type of pat on the back, but you know what? That's a generational change. Me, I'm used to my reward or my pat on the back is my paycheck.
Well, yeah. For as an adult, that is our reward. Earning an income is our reward. We go and work our butts off through the week, Monday through Friday, and then when that paycheck comes in, it's a reflection of our work.
Exactly.
It's paying the bills. It's putting food on the table. So, yes, as an adult, your reward changes as an adult. But when you're a kid, the reward's a little different. You get $5 to go in the dollar store to buy you something. You know what I mean?
Can we implement that with the boys now? Like on the refrigerator, put like the chart.
If we do that, we got to do that for all the kids.
I know, we'll do it for all of them. Like, all right, you get a juice box if you do this, or, chocolate chip cookie. Doug Brown, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you. Or good to know that you're listening here this morning all the way from Pennsylvania.
But there's eight things that are part of being a leader.
And what are they?
There's 8 things. It's work ethic is number 1. Accountability is number 2. Communication is number 3.
Which I'm lacking in that, I admit.
Integrity is number 4. And I'm going to stop on integrity for a minute. Integrity is being exactly who you say you are. Mm-hmm. Trust. You build trust through having integrity. If you have a boss that shortchanges jobs, and what do I mean by shortchange? Taking shortcuts and getting a job done right, guess what your crew's going to do? They're going to do exactly what you do because you're trying to save money and time. And so now you're not only shortchanging a process in the job, you're shortchanging that client, which means you're stealing money from that client.
Yeah.
And your crew is watching you do this as the leader. Integrity has to be above all. To me, integrity would be number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
If I was, everything else falls under integrity. Be who you say you are. Be authentic. Be genuine. Make a mistake, own it. Just have integrity. Your character supersedes everything you do, and I can't be even more passionate about that because I am honest to a fault. You've been married to me and been with me long enough that you know that about me. Sometimes I'm too honest, and I tell you all the time, I just need to learn to keep my mouth shut.
Well, I don't think you can. I don't know if there's such a thing as being too honest. I mean, you state how you feel and everything, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather be somebody upfront and blunt than to not say anything. You see what I'm saying?
And I worked that way with my team. When I was running business with my team, my team, if I can't do the job, then why should I expect my team to do the job?
Good point.
If I can't get in there and pick up a shovel, then why in the world would I expect my team to take the initiative if I don't show them what initiative looks like?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can't always expect your team to know exactly what to do or to read your mind. Sometimes you got to get out there and be the leader. I mean, you are the leader.
That's true.
But go back to integrity. Integrity, be who you are, do what you say, and mean what you say, and get it done. But integrity, so there's 4 things: work ethic, accountability, communication, integrity. The 5th is adaptability. 6, empowerment. 7, emotional intelligence. There's a lot of worth behind emotional intelligence.
No, most of the people in the green industry are men. Do you think men have it?
Do
we have it? Okay.
Men have emotional intelligence.
So explain that. Explain it, because somebody, that hears that emotional intelligence. What actually is that? Because that, to me, that can mean several different things.
Well, so yeah, it can mean a lot of different things. To me, emotional intelligence is being able to look at the situation and read the emotions of your crew, of your clients, being able to read the situation. It's almost like having intuition. Men have it too, and don't say you don't. Don't think that just because a woman tends to hone in her skills a lot more than a man does, and we do in certain ways.
And I was just stereotyping. I was just having a little fun with that.
Men have it. You guys, you have it. I've seen you do it. Some men tend to be more in tune with their emotional intelligence than some others are. So, is it 100% across the board all the way? No. And it's that way with women. There's women that don't have emotional intelligence either. So it's really just a human thing that we have to learn. But the number 8th one is vision. Without a vision, there's a verse in the Bible that says, where there is no vision, and it's in Proverbs, where there is no vision, the people perish.
True. 100%.
If you don't set a vision for your business and for your team and push that vision, be excited about that vision, remind your team every day what the goal is and why we do what we do. There's a why behind everything. And if you're not living that out in front of your team and you're not influencing them, they're not going to get you where you need to go in a business. They're just not.
They're not.
But then one thing I want to touch on is work ethic. It's what drives our business is work ethic.
And you and I have that. And most entrepreneurs, small business owners do have a good work ethic.
But work ethic is where people notice you first.
Yes.
It's not what you say.
It's what you do.
It's 100% what you do. What does your work ethic look like? I can understand somebody that's owned the business for 30 years and they're taking a back seat and they're putting somebody else up front because they're trying to exit out. They're setting a legacy, for that business. That's one thing. But somebody that's only been in business 5-10 years, and just because your team are moving and things are happening and you want to sit down and take a moment and a breather, for a few weeks and not be involved, not show up to meetings, not even have meetings with your team, you're going to start seeing things start pulling back. People are going to get in a comfort zone. They're not being pushed. They're not being, encouraged to get out there and do something. And guess what happens when people get comfortable?
Mediocrity sets in.
Yes.
They slack up.
They do. And it goes back to the whole saying that I heard as a kid, when the cat's away, the mice do play.
Yeah. That they do.
So
that they do.
What kind of influence are you setting as a leader? And I know we got to go to break, but I really wanted to put that out there. As a leader, guys, men or women, whoever is listening, what kind of influence are you having on the people who sit under you and are looking to you for leadership? What kind of influence are you setting? What is your idea of leadership? Because whatever your idea of leadership is how you're influencing and impacting your team. And if it's negative and your business is failing and you're not getting your team where you need them to be, that means you need to change perspective and you need to grow yourself as a leader. You do. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people wonder, well, what forces people to be great leaders? How do we get people out here to do the things that they need to do? a lot of times, John Maxwell said this, and I thought it was very well. People change when they hurt enough that they have to change.
Wow.
People change when they hurt enough that they have to change.
Wow.
People also learn enough that they want to change. So if you force yourself to educate yourself in your business, and just because it's old hat doesn't mean there's not new things to learn, because there is in this industry, learn enough that you want to change. And then receive enough that you're able to change. But it always starts, you change because you've heard enough that you have to change.
That you've been hurt enough. Hurt.
Your business is hurting. Not hurting just emotionally, but hurting financially, hurting in the growth of your team. Your business is not getting where it needs to get, and you're feeling the impact of that, and now you are being forced to change. I mean, look at Sears, Roebuck.
Yeah.
They no longer exist in a brick and mortar store because they refused to change. The hurt came, and it wasn't enough. And guess what happened? They quit.
Folded.
They folded. And now, yeah, you can go online and order things, but they do not have the presence today that they had 20 years ago because they refused to change.
They did not put that catalog online.
Yeah. They lost their influence.
Yeah.
Because they refused to change. Guys, there's nothing wrong with change. Just because it's worked for you for 20 years doesn't mean that a little bit of change being implemented can always grow your business in ways that you never thought possible. A lot of times we put ourselves in a cookie cutter mold and we refuse to step out of it. But listen, this quote changed my life as a leader. This changed my life. Growth and comfort. Those two words, I want you to think about growth and think about the word comfort. Growth and comfort cannot coexist.
No.
They cannot. It is going to be one or the other. If you're comfortable, your business is going to stay right where it's at. If you want to grow, guess what? You got to step outside of that comfort zone and get things done. What is your influence as a leader? That's what I want to prick your mind with today. How are you influencing people?
Baby, you are influencing a way today. Good job. Good job. That's a topic I think we can continue talking. But, guys, I want to touch a little bit on aeration and seeding. And then Jennifer's going to update us on what NC State is doing with the drones at the Turfgrass Lab. Don't go nowhere. Keeping up with the Joneses. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Newell Montgomery from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You're listening to my favorite radio station, Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Hey Turfs Up Radio fans, do you know what time it is? That's right, it's Turfs Up Radio time. Now you can hear the latest updates in green industry news, services and technology. Learn about new products all while enjoying the best music. If you don't believe me, then ask my good friend Alexa. Just say launch Turfs Up Radio.
Are you a military family with a spouse on deployment away from home? Did you know that nonprofit Project Evergreen has thousands of volunteers across the country ready to help military families with lawn, landscape, and snow removal services? We call it Green Care and Snow Care for troops. If you are a military family and would like to receive this free service, or if you'd like to volunteer to help, visit projectevergreen.org. Project Evergreen, creating a greener, healthier, cooler Earth, 1 yard at a time.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here on this Monday, September 8th. 8:50 is your turf time. And I know I get a lot of questions about plugging and seeding. Is it too early? Is it too late? Guys, we got to check that soil temperature. And in my personal opinion as a turf teacher, I don't think it is quite ready yet, because our optimal soil temperature for seeding most grasses is going to be between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And as I'm checking our soil temperatures here, We got a soil temperature map pulled up. It's just not ready. We're just not ready. I am looking at temperatures right now. The average, current soil temperature, 59 degrees. The 24 average has been 67 degrees. That's what kind of concerns me. But the 5-day average is 73 degrees. Now, here in our area, the Triad, we're looking at some cooler days, Monday, Tuesday, and part of Wednesday. But towards Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, we're going to have daytime highs of up in the 80s. And so that's not going to be optimal temperature for plugging and seeding. Still just a little too warm. And so I know a lot of people are getting anxious because, we are so close to leaves falling, the leaves turning. Takes one cold spell and our leaves will start changing and people start, worrying about that. They've got mulching to do. They've got pruning to do, which I'm a little against that. And we're going to talk more about that with Wayne Voles this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. We are going to talk about pruning. So a lot of times people jump the gun and they prune stuff right before a cold spell, and you get that new flush of herbaceous growth, and it's going to hurt the plant materials when it gets cold. But, sweetie, we got a lot of plugging and seeding to do, but we got to wait just probably another week before it starts happening. But you tell us about what these drones, what they're doing at NC State Turfgrass Lab.
Well, before we get into the drones, I just want to say I'm loving the cooler mornings.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Walked out the door yesterday morning to go to church, and I had in my head it was going to be 80 degrees, and so I dressed a little cooler.
Yeah.
And I walked out the door, and I was like, mistake. I should have grabbed a sweater. But I loved it. The air yesterday, there was a slight breeze. There wasn't a lot of humidity outside, and it was cool.
It was raining.
And it felt like fall. And then today, I'm looking out here at the strawberry fields, the sun's shining. There's no clouds in the sky. I mean, the temperature right now is just absolutely gorgeous. It's 57 degrees right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beautiful out here. So, we're almost there. We're almost there to plug and seed. But you want to make sure that you get your money's worth and you're doing it right. And it's important to do things at the right time when it comes to planting.
And the best thing to do is to get a soil temperature tester. I mean, very inexpensive. You can get them online, Amazon, stick it in the ground, make sure that you do have the optimal ground temperatures. It's different than air temperatures. So you gotta make sure that soil temperature is what. But tell us a little bit about the drones at NC State Turfgrass Lab.
Well, it's pretty cool what they're doing. I was amazed at how far I'm amazed every day at how far technology has taken us and how we're implementing that in
the green industry.
In the green industry. I mean, it's being implemented in all industries. Technology is amazing, but in the green industry, when it's very hands-on, work by your hands kind of work, when technology starts complementing that, it's amazing what you can do. And you guys, if you know anything about drones, you also know when it comes to drones and pesticides, you have to have a certain licensure for that. You can't just go buy a drone and go spray your fields with it. You will get in big time trouble for that. So you got to make sure you have the right license for that.
And that's different than your ornamentals and turf, guys. You actually got to have an aerial pesticide license and be certified to fly that drone. So, can be done. It's just you're gonna have to take the necessary steps to make it happen.
But I just wanted to share this because I don't know how many of us that are listening to us this morning are at the position or had the capabilities to be this technologically savvy in our business. But the industry is heading that way.
Yes.
And if you have a big goal or a big dream to have your business in that market or in that position to be able to do these things later, keeping up with the trends and knowing what's happening, educating yourself is important. But what I didn't know is that turfgrass breeding programs, you know how many years it takes to evaluate the multi-step process and getting the data? You know how many years it's taken to do that?
It's like 12 years.
12 plus years.
That's crazy.
12 years to get data and evaluate the breeding program, because they're trying to, it all comes down to the cultivars and what type of grass they're breeding, and, how are we blending this, and are we using, it's just, there's so much science that goes into it.
And even that, don't they send it? They send it somewhere after 12 years of field studies. It's the National
Turfgrass Evaluation Program.
So after it's been somewhere like at NC State or one of the other turfgrass schools, then it goes to that before that cultivar is really marketed to sell. So,
right. Because they're going to evaluate the quality of that turf grass.
100%.
They're not going to just willy-nilly put something on the market just because it looked good during the process. They want to make sure that it actually is sustainable.
Yeah.
That it's going to breed well and be the right type of grass for whatever yard or golf course or whatever. So I've been to the Turfgrass Labs at NC State with you, and it was cool to look at the fields themselves and how they have them blocked because they have all the different turf grasses and they're doing studies on them. And this particular instance with the drones and AI, what they're doing is they're taking artificial intelligence. They're using that with the UAV imagery, okay? So they're looking at heat. They're looking at the temperature. They're taking that UAV imagery with AI and the drone, and they're inputting data. And what you guys have got to understand, artificial intelligence is not 100% artificial intelligence.
It's a collection of human.
Exactly. It requires human intelligence to be input into the system in order to draft and draw the data from. So AI still needs human contact. It does. It's not 100% computer-based without human effort at all. You've got to have human data. So they've taken drone imagery with the UAV imagery, and they're inputting AI data into this to help to draw this data, to evaluate, to build on this. So it's pretty cool what they're doing. So the researchers at NC State, their breeding management there, they're using drones and artificial intelligence to bring objectivity and precision to turfgrass. And what you guys have got to understand, with humans, there comes human error. But with humans, there also comes biases and objectivity.
Yes. Yeah. So one PhD graduate student may think that this is a bad characteristic of the cultivar, where one might think, yeah, this is not so bad. So is the AI being able to depict which is the better?
This is where AI benefits us in this aspect. It takes the biases out. And what kind of biases are involved? Okay, so you got to think about it. You may have a student that's learning that doesn't have the knowledge that somebody that's been in the industry 30 years.
True.
So you've got a bias of uneducation, and not on purpose.
New education.
Yeah, new education. Then you've got the bias of a professor that only likes particular cultivars.
True.
They
got his favorite.
Yeah, and so he won't do the research on other cultivars because he tends to lean to these types of cultivars.
Yeah.
So there's always a bias. There's always an objectivity that comes from us as humans because we tend to objectify things as a natural form.
That we do.
So AI pops in and takes all that information with the drones and the imagery, and they can literally score the different types of turf grass and tell you what the health of that turf grass is and what the success of that breed is going to be based on the drone and the AI imagery. So that's what North Carolina State University is working on. It's exciting to see that they're taking all of that and putting it together so that we can benefit from that 12 years later.
Yeah, and just seeing the pictures there, I would be in hog heaven just being there at the Turfgrass Lab, flying that drone. And
I know it's amazing what they can do. It's amazing.
All right, guys, don't forget to join us tonight, 8 p.m. here on Turfs Up Radio for the Boots on Ground show, and catch us live again tomorrow morning with Keeping Up with the Joneses. This is the Turf Teacher out. I will see you in the next lecture.
And this is the Turfette, guys. It is Monday. Go make it happen for the week.
See you guys. Have a blessed day.